not everything, but you know.
All right, so let me see. I can, like I said, I can lighten it up more if I need.
You just pressed it on live. You started your broadcast.
I know. I
You're
know.
like, great.
Want to keep it organic,
Oh, you
but
wanted to keep it on the real.
exactly. So, do you think I should turn the light up or what, or is it good?
You could probably go up a little bit more.
All right.
Yeah, and then see if it gets too bright so you don't get any reflections. Would probably be all right. Oh
How's
yeah,
that?
that's way better. Yeah,
Oh yeah. All right.
that's way better.
All right. Cool. So once again, we're back.
Yay!
Yeah, we had a nice little conversation last night. I was feeling it. In a few minutes, we'll have a couple of more people join us. Fool and
Ooh.
maybe a few other guests. But for those people who don't know, this is East to West Magazine. We're live. Here we have a guest, Jill, and she was our first
Yeah.
guest last night. We had fun. Talked about some things that kind of got emotional, and we really didn't finish uh, what we started. So I figured that we would continue. And in particular, when Jill was speaking, she started to tell us her story. And it was so deep that I said to myself, I said, wow, you know what? I have to hear it if she doesn't mind.
Okay. What one? What part?
When you were in, I think, Ohio or somewhere, you got something about three people or whatever. Something happened.
So I was here. I was actually here in the state of Washington. I had been in a 15-year narcissistic and physically and mentally abusive relationship. Due to that person's own insecurity, um, kind of wanted to drown out who I was as a woman. And because I am kind of one of those people that I'm pretty pleasing and I guess you know what. To be really quite honest, it was kind of like Captain Save a Ho. I for some reason, in my head, I thought for sure I could save him, and I could, if I loved him enough, it would be different. Blah blah blah. And so we went through years. I mean, I'm not saying it was all bad. Unfortunately, it ended up very bad um, because I called out the truth, and he didn't like that. So in turn, I was beat up by him, my stepdaughter, who I raised, and her boyfriend. I then was, at that time, I was unconscious. I was in and out of consciousness. I heard, thank God I had my phone on recording the situation. I had my phone on and it was on record, and it recorded them saying that we're just going to drag her out, say she attacked us first, and kill the bitch, basically. So, but I'm here to say that that it's I'm not a victim. I'm definitely a survivor. I'm meant to be here, and um, it's unfortunate. And I think I spoke a little bit on it before, that forgiveness is not forgiveness on what people think. Forgiveness is letting go, and that's letting go for ourselves, for our sanity. That person doesn't care. That person would rather have me be miserable, and I refuse. I'm here for a reason, to make a
Right.
difference, for sure.
Yeah.
So, and it hasn't changed my feelings. It hasn't changed my feelings about love. It hasn't changed my feelings about what I want in my life, or a man, or any. It doesn't change that I still want love, and I believe in it. So it hasn't changed me. You has it made me guard it? Of course. Hell yeah, it's made me guard it for sure. But
Right.
I definitely I believe I deserve the best, and the best man for me in my life is to be loved. So
And for those who don't know, there's a chart called the self-actualization chart. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm gonna pull it up real quick just so uh, people have an idea of what it is. And basically, what it is a chart that explains the level of growth in human beings, each
Hmm.
step that human beings take in order to become a complete human being. And it's actually called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And one of the basic needs, I took this up in school a long time ago, so I'm not really fresh with it. But the basic need, the bottom need is physiological needs, which consist of food, water, warmth, and rest.
Right.
Okay?
Those are needs, and see, that's what. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think people get confused with needs and wants. Okay, I don't need a man in my life to complete me. I want a man in my life to love me completely, not to complete me. I don't need a man. I want a man to love me completely. I don't need a man to complete me as a woman. I'm beautiful just the way that I am without it. It's like having frosting on a beautiful cake, that's just a man.
Absolutely.
you know, cake is good fine, and cake is good plain. But cake is also good with frosting, you
There you
know.
go. Cake is good.
So a
Absolutely.
man is really good frosting. That's how I look at it.
There you go. I'm actually trying to pull up that self-actualization chart so that the people can see as we speak. I can't seem to pull it up, but the next level of needs is security and safety. And
Safety for sure, yeah,
yeah, you want to feel secure in a relationship.
for
You want
sure.
to feel that when you're with someone that you're safe, that they have your
Absolutely.
interest all the way through and through. Okay, and the next level is belongingness and love needs, intimate relationships and friendships. See,
Yep.
a lot of us, we miss some of those steps in between there. We miss some of those steps before we actually, become self-actualized. And because we miss some of those steps, we have um, caustic relationships that don't
Absolutely.
work, very abrasive, and it's like trying to fit parts together that don't fit.
Absolutely.
And that we have broken relationships, and people become enemies, and bitter rivals. When at one point in time you were deeply and passionately in love. You know,
Absolutely.
and
And it takes work. I mean, I think people have that, still that fantasy world of, oh well, we fell in love and this fairy tale and all this stuff, but it takes work to have a relationship, and it takes understanding to have that relationship, and it takes communication, and just never wanting to change that person that you fell in love with, because you fell in love with them as that individual. You're only supposed to come together as individuals and join together to build each other up for our own goals and work together for the final goal. I
right.
mean, we are individuals, and that's what makes us beautiful, each one of us. So I think it gets lost in all that fairy tale, oh well, if you like Chinese food, then I've got to like Chinese food. If I No, 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 it's not like that. It doesn't mean you love that person any less.
Right.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy
And
to me.
that's basic. And where you're at right now in the conversation is compromise.
Hmm.
You learn how to
Yes.
compromise in relationships, and if
Yeah.
you can't compromise in a relationship, then you have a serious problem. You got to go back to the drawing board.
Absolutely. and
And
and I think, yeah, you're absolutely, I so agree with you. That's an incredible word too. That's, yeah, compromise, yeah.
yeah, yeah, and it's something that a lot of men don't like to do or are comfortable with because it means that you're giving something of yourself that's
Right.
making you feel weak.
Right.
And the feeling weak is just a perception.
It is.
It's just a perception that society has placed on men. It has placed on men.
Mm-hmm.
Men are stereotyped if they cry. Men are
Yes.
stereotyped if they say, "Oh, that's a beautiful flower." Men are
Mm-hmm.
stereotyped if they cater to their woman, kiss her in
Yep.
public, hold her hand. Oh, he's soft. If he cries during Ghost or 7 Pounds or one of those movies, you know, then he's a weak man. But in actuality, that makes you a human being.
Absolutely. And do you want to know something? I truly believe, just my personal opinion and what I believe in, um, looking at a lot of different articles, more women are attracted to men that can break down those barriers and show some of their emotions that they are human. And I think a lot of us look at men as like, damn, we just want that little bit of emotion to show that we look at it a little bit different as a caring, break it as opening yourself up. And I think a lot of women want to see that in a man. It's much more attractive. And as far as I'm concerned, the mind is much more attractive than any kind of body or money or anything else. I mean, if you have it intellectually, that's the biggest turn on, I believe, for anything. I mean, to me, it's amazing. I mean, that to me, the mind is everything. And so I think we lose sight of that. What are you going to do when you get super old and it doesn't work anymore? I mean, you have a beautiful mind, so you just kind of go with it. But I truly agree with you. Society has put a lot on men as being men and being just this tough guy, the caveman, old school caveman.
Yeah, the Neanderthal. Um,
Yes,
look,
yes, yes.
looking at this shadow, it's a well, we're gonna have to deal with it for now. But um, also, as a man, what I find um, in relationships that I've been in with women is that women will tend to change their opinion of you if you show them a different side, which is more passionate or which is more sensitive. Some women tend to place men in a box, a category, and it opens up doors for different behavior. Do you agree?
It's very true, and I think with that, you're very right. But then I think at the same time, that's maybe then that's not the one that's equally yoked to you. And I'm not saying that's bad, but maybe we have to evaluate starting relationships with people not on, oh, that's a very good looking person, because it goes a lot deeper than that. And I would rather much see the rawness of a man than to have him come across to me as this tough, this and this and this. It's nobody's business what happens between closed doors, and that softness and that sweetness. And there's nothing wrong with holding and showing those emotions. Screw what they're talking about. That's how I look at it. I find a man really, really attractive if he's got a head on his shoulders and he can communicate with me. I think it's very attractive. I mean, you and I, even me being older, like you can get people into bed all day long, but that's not it has no substance.
Right.
It has no substance, and I choose not to do that. um I mean, I think I've gone on 2 dates in 2 years. They were both like horrible. So
Yeah.
have I made mistakes along the way? Hell yeah, but I haven't made that choice to actually sleep with somebody, only for the sheer fact that I think there's more substance, and I value who I am as a woman more than that. And I'm not knocking any women. Go for it. You want to do that. You want to go to bed with somebody. Do it. Go. I'm cool on it. Right on. I'm just different. I
You
just
know, there was
that's
a
my,
time when in my life, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but there
no,
was a
no, no.
time in
You're
my life
good.
when I felt like, okay, the more women I slept with, the better I felt.
Yes.
More,
Yes.
more notches under my belt. I felt strong. Okay. Um, but then I reached a point because I satiated that feeling. You know, I found that. that feeling that I was looking for. I found it, and I enjoy it. I love it. Um,
Mhm.
and I started to realize there's absolutely nothing wrong with sex.
No.
There's nothing wrong with a man having sex with a woman and vice versa.
Yep.
It's natural, basic instinct. So if
Yes.
I'm attracted to a woman and I want to have sex with her, the basic carnal instinct,
Mhm.
reproduction, okay, to reproduce, because that's what animals do. Higher and
Yes.
lower primates, we
Yes.
reproduce everything on the planet. Okay,
Mhm.
so my first instinct is, okay, you know what? Well, back then it was, you know,
Yeah.
damn, she got a fat ass, or
Yeah.
nice titties, pretty face, nice mouth to go with that
Right.
pretty face type of thing. You know what I mean? And
For
then, like
sure.
you said, it became a substance thing. I reached a point in life where um, I don't just want to be with a woman because she looks good, has a fat ass, nice body or whatever. Like you said, substance.
Yes.
You know, substance is what attracts me and turns me on as a man.
Yeah.
And I'm a guarded man. I don't let my guards down too tough for
Yeah.
anyone.
Yeah.
And for a woman, it takes a very long time because, like I said before, when you commit yourself, and then for a man to get with a woman and open up like that, a man opens up himself completely.
Mhm.
He breaks down the barrier of what he's supposed to be, which is a big, strong man. But when you're making love to a woman, you're moaning like a little girl.
Mhm. That's
You
very
know?
true. Very
So
true.
the woman gets to see the weakness of a man.
Right.
And I don't have a problem with it. It's just that I don't want to be abused when
Right.
I express it. And
Right.
when you find out how passionate I can be, or compassionate, or
Mhm.
intimate, you know, then I don't want you to flip that, oh, he's weak, he's pussy whipped, or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be.
No.
You know what I
No.
mean?
Yeah, no, 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 and it goes for women too. I mean, women are looked at that like if we're kind and we love and we'll give you, the shirt off, our backs, and what men look at that as a weakness as well. I'm a high empath, so I work on totally a different my intuition and my feeling for people and that energy I feel right off the bat and um I can feel everything. So for me, I just think it's important for us to connect as people and build relationships off of substance and communication, and the rest will all come. I mean, I want to be able to kick it on the couch and have a good conversation, and then, get down to business. I don't,
Yeah,
I don't
get greasy,
necessarily, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
if
get real
if I
greasy with
want,
the sex, and
yeah,
and 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 that's what it's about. It's about having fun with your mate, with your
yes,
partner.
yeah,
You want to be able to eat ice cream and
oh yeah,
and onesies and stuff like that with your mate watching, football, or
absolutely.
watching some corny shit,
Or build a fort.
corny shit. Go
Yeah,
back to the old school, just do some young shit.
yeah.
And a female that can make me feel young again is definitely a female man worth keeping.
Oh,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah, and I think
And,
that's what keeps us young. I mean, you have to play. You have to enjoy life. I mean, and look at life through the look at life through when we were young as children with that innocence and that every day is a new day and we appreciate it and live that way. And I really truly believe it will change our relationships with not only our friends but our people that we want to bring into our lives and our lovers and our men and our women. And I think if we look at it as kids with that innocence and just love, man, we've got one shot at this. Let's do it. I'm
hold
not
on,
gonna
Jeff.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Jeff. Yo, hold on. You on live, man. Hold on. All right. All right, Joe. Let me add him in here real quick. All right.
Yay. Okay.
So don't forget where you were. I don't want you to think I wasn't paying attention.
No, you're fine, honey. I don't ever think that.
All right. Let me tell you.
Oh, we're gonna have the party man in the house.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully he wasn't drinking tonight.
It's all
Yeah,
right
I
if
see.
he did.
I
That's who
see
he
the link
is.
already. All right. All right.
I'm having a little drink for him.
Yeah, have a drink for him tonight. I
Yeah,
don't.
I am. Oh well, that might not be good either.
Well,
No,
I hope he doesn't drink tonight. I'm gonna ask him not to drink. But he's a man. He's gonna do what he want to do.
it is all right. Hey, that's who he is. He's got to do him. That's for sure.
Absolutely. But
But no,
yeah,
I think bottom line, dating sucks. I'm just gonna tell you right now, dating sucks.
yeah,
I no, I can't do it. I just
it does. You know why? Because there's a lot of creepy people out there,
there is.
and then when you in society today, when you're surrounded by so many creepy people, you can't bring them around your children. You can't bring them around your family. You can't even bring them in your home. You
I
can't even
can't even bring them around my dogs. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Can't bring them, So at the end of the day, and then on top of that, it's like you can meet someone and the facade is so strong
Yeah.
that 2 weeks later you're like, damn, this ain't the person that I met.
Exactly.
This is a weirdo. This person's weird. You know?
Right.
What the hell
Right.
is this guy doing? Nah,
Where
man, you
is
gotta
he?
do better than that,
Ah,
man.
he's in bed.
Come on, fool, man.
I think he's in bed.
I told him you gotta do better than that,
You know
man.
what? He saw the
Yeah,
title. He saw the title. He got in bed.
yeah, that's all right. He's gonna get his ass up. Can't do it like that. What kind of dog you got?
My dog is
No, you
mad.
get a dog?
Abby, Mia, come
You
here.
get a doggy?
No, come here. Darn.
They hear your dog.
Huh?
You see him right there?
Oh my gosh, your dog, hush.
All right.
Oh my gosh, they're mad. Hush. No.
All right. Well, while we wait for him,
But no. I mean, dating sucks. I mean, I think especially for um, me. I mean, I think I've just come to that conclusion that if it happens, it happens, and the universe is going to move in my favor, and
right,
I'm gonna meet a very nice man, and we're good. That's
right.
all. I just
And
don't want to. I just don't want. I just need. I really want that connection for sure.
right. And
Because
I
I'm
reached
single. It's been 2 years. I'm good. No.
right. And I know how it feels to be single. I know how it feels to be lonely. You
Yes.
know,
It's
and
awful.
sometimes you can be with someone and still be lonely.
And
You
that's
can
how it
sleep.
was for me. Yeah.
You can
That's
be
how it was for
sleeping
me.
right next to the enemy.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know,
In the
and wake
devil's
up
den itself, I'll tell you what.
with that enemy. You know what I mean? It's a
Yep.
problem. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's just a wonderful thing that
Hush.
you can acknowledge. Hey,
Hush. Hush, Mia. Hush. Come here. Come here. Nobody's gonna get me. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Come on. Come on. This dog, I'll tell you what. This
uh,
dog had her rib cage broken, trying
oh,
to save my life. Trying to save my life while I was getting my butt beat. Hush.
right.
So she's everything. She's so protective. Hush. Hush. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. So she my little
Guardian.
she my little guard dog.
Right.
Yeah, she probably scared to death, but
Yeah.
she my guard dog. But she
It's
goes.
all good. It's all good. Um, so back to you. You know, we were talking about the self-actualization, and then we have one more level, and that's called self-actualization, which is basically when you achieve your goal to the fullest potential, including creative activities. such as what I guess we're doing right now.
Someone's by here at the door. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. I just want to chill her out. You're all right. But
Go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead, honey. Go tell me. Tell
Go
me,
ahead and
tell
do
me.
that. I want to chill them out real quick. Give me a
No,
second, all
you're
right?
good. You're good. I got it.
Now I gotta check. I gotta see something. Hold on.
That's enough. Stop. Darn. These dogs be going crazy. 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 Crazy dogs. Hush. That's enough, baby. That's enough. That's enough. So, anyways, we're just going to talk about crappy dating, okay? Because I'll tell you what, I've been on. Okay, so actually, oh, wait, before we go on the dating thing, so my daughter suggests to me, hey, mom, since you're not dating, let's hurry up and get through this. Since you're not dating, go on TikTok. Here I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know anything about TikTok. But I'll tell you what, ladies. Oh my gosh. I have never been, I have not even seen that many beautiful men for 100 years. Here he comes. We're pretending like nothing's going on. Anyways, hi.
Hey, I'm back.
Good. I'm glad.
All right, we can talk.
I kept everybody entertained with a great conversation.
Nice.
Yes, it was very nice.
Okay, cool.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
as we were saying, as I was telling, like, if there's any women out there, TikTok, I'm going to tell you right now, my friend, it's like going to the candy shop.
Going to the candy shop. What you mean?
Yes.
What you mean?
I mean, oh my gosh.
School the men too, because see, people are gonna look at this later.
Listen,
You know what I mean?
this is crazy. Okay, for men too, go do it. I mean, hands
Go
down.
do what?
There
Go
is
do
so
what?
many beautiful women, and it's like a candy shop of men. I have never been so impressed in my whole entire being of life.
Okay.
I mean, for view wise, I'm saying, just enjoying the view. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to do the view. Like, I'm good with it. I was like, holy
Okay.
mackerel. My
So,
daughter was the one that suggested me to go on that. And it's so crazy because I'm pretty impressed.
so you went window shopping.
Oh, you know what? Window shopping is always good for the heart. I'll tell you what. And I just like, wow,
You
okay,
ain't spend
cool.
no
And
money.
then I just keep going, oh, cool. Oh, shit. Hold up. Wait.
I ain't gonna lie. When I'm out and about, I look at women. I look at women all day, all shapes, all sizes. I love everything about a woman. I love the way y'all smell. I love the way y'all taste. I love the way y'all look. I mean, when
That's so crazy. That's what I feel about men.
mm,
I think men are absolutely incredible beings.
right,
And if they
yeah,
have a head on their shoulders, oh my God. TikTok and all those dating things, that's just for, they come on looking all pretty and just like all statuesque and perfect. And man, they open their mouth and they're probably idiots. I'm sorry. No. Okay, I take it back because I don't want to offend anybody. They're probably not idiots.
mhm.
But yeah.
I understand. I mean, I've met some beautiful women who were airheads. Who had nothing
Yeah.
going on under the cap. So I definitely understand.
And it does come back to judgment because I've been judged as that, like, oh, here comes this white woman, she's blonde, she doesn't know shit, she's a ditz. No, you got the wrong one. I'm sorry, you better keep it pushing somewhere else because I'm not the one to compete with, because
Yeah,
I'm going to step up to the plate with intelligence, I'll tell you what. But and I do have to admit, though, I have had to dumb down to male bosses.
Hmm.
I've had to dumb down to male bosses in order to keep my job, like
Right.
act like I'm an idiot, like I
Right.
don't know anything. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But
I
I won't do
understand.
it anymore.
I understand that concept because sometimes you have to dumb down with certain people so that they'll
You do.
understand you, so that you won't make them feel as though you're better than them,
Exactly.
and they can be in a position of authority, and it would be a challenge of their authority.
Yeah.
If you
And that's why I say you just have to find a good partner and a good relationship, and you rise to the top. You build that empire. You bring everybody that you love with you, and you do it in unity. And that's it. It's good. No woman or no man should feel threatened by either sex or woman to woman or male to male. It's ridiculous. We should learn from each other. If you know something, I definitely want to go and learn it from you.
right,
Why not?
right,
Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And when the student is ready to learn, the teacher will appear.
mhm,
We're all students and
right,
we're all teachers. Take advantage of that.
right.
That's what
I
I
think
say.
I dig it. That's deep. We're
Yeah,
all students and we're all teachers. You're absolutely right.
absolutely right.
And kind of like piggyback.
Amazing that a blonde woman that can do that. Oh my God. How
I mean, it goes to show you that the stereotype is bullshit.
oh my gosh, I had
You
a
know what I mean?
thought.
Yeah. I mean, the stereotype goes all kinds of ways. The pendulum swings here too. They
Absolutely.
think because I'm black, that I can't articulate myself or I
Thank
can't
you.
just in certain arenas.
Yes.
So
Yep.
who cares about the stereotype? Just
No, I don't care.
do what you can do to the best of
Yeah,
your ability. And if you like me, you like me. If you don't, then hey, I got to find a new job or you know,
exactly. That's what I do.
yeah, keep it moving.
Or create your own. Tell you what,
There you go, entrepreneurship.
it's
Exactly.
hot in here.
I think it's around that time of your life where things get a little hot and flashes. They get hot and flashes.
Hold up.
Oh man. And I think men go through it too.
Oh, you do. You guys do. You
Yeah,
definitely do.
hormonal changes. The
Yes.
testosterone, it just
Yes.
I
Yes.
remember there was a time when, shit, man, my testosterone level would be so high up, I'd be ready to fight, wrestle, fuck,
Right.
do
Yep.
everything all in one, day. But
Yeah.
now it's like after I do a little work, go to work, do some yard work, you know, feel like, oh man, I'm ready to chill out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Do
You
you
find
ever
my
go
favorite
through
kid.
that? Do you ever go through that time of like between 1:30 and 3 you want to take that little cat nap?
Yeah, it's
Have you
funny.
gotten there yet? Cuz I
Yeah,
have.
yeah, that's funny because I need that power nap.
Yeah, me too.
Power nap.
Me
Especially if
too.
I'm home. If I'm
Yes.
at work, then I can't get it. I have to wait
Right.
till I get home. And
But
then,
home?
when
Yeah.
I get home, I take the power nap. You know what I mean?
Man, if I could stay in bed all day like once a week, I'd be so happy.
I just can't. That's something I can't do. I can't stay in bed.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I bet you could. If there
I
was a
can't do it.
reason to, no. This is what I'm saying. So I have a whole schedule planned out for staying in bed. No,
Okay. Okay.
no. I'm just saying there is a way that you could stay in bed. I'm not saying like stay on lockdown in bed, like, but just where you do things the whole day and you enjoy company. I think couples need to enjoy company of each other and do what they want to do. I mean, build that bond and continue to build that bond.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying about stay in bed. I mean, um, morning is always good. You wake up, you know,
Right. Right. I'm
you
listening.
make breakfast together.
Cool
You,
me. Teach me.
yeah,
Maybe I don't know what's going on because at the
yes,
end of the day, sometimes we think we got the recipe for a good relationship, but in actuality, we're missing some steps. So,
Absolutely.
maybe if I listen to you, you'll teach me a few things, or someone else out there. So
No, no, and I think it is. I think you have to share that time together. And I'm not saying, I mean, literally not like stay in bed all day, but I think you should enjoy each other's company and the solitude of your who you are as individuals, and don't lose sight of that. I think what we do as when we get together with somebody, we get, the honeymoon stage. That's a bunch of bullshit. Okay. Anyways, we pass that, and then all of a sudden there's this realness. And then I think men and women um, think that, oh yeah, let me just press it on cruise control because I already got her. I already got him. So now I'm good. I don't have to do anything else to work at it. That's
mm-hmm.
true. It's not cruise control. There's no button for either one of us, men or women. No cruise control. You find interest. If you truly care and love that person, you will find that interest in that person and want to spend that time with them.
Right,
Take that shower together, bond together, cook together, do what you want to do, and then you know what? We need our own time.
right.
Go away. Go for a walk. You know what? I got my time, you got your time. We think, we come back to the drawing board, and we build the empire that we're supposed to build.
Right.
That's it.
And
Simple.
I'll be honest. There was times in my life when I couldn't stand being around a female all day, but I
Mm-hmm.
could be around her all night when we're making love. You understand what I'm saying? And then
Oh
after,
yeah, for sure.
huh?
For
And
sure.
then, and then after we make love or have sex together, it's like, damn, man, she's, I can't stand her ass. She's a pain in the, pain in the neck. You know what I mean? And that's not a healthy relationship. You know,
No.
you have to find something to keep the relationship interesting, and you have to, I think, you have to do things to always keep your significant other interested in you. You have to be creative, like you said. Be creative, and if that means getting up or staying in the bed all day Saturday in your pajamas, don't even
Mm-hmm.
get dressed. Don't clean up the house. Just make
Mm-hmm.
breakfast, lunch, dinner together. Order out if you have to, but
Mm-hmm.
just spend some quality time bonding and,
Yeah.
and, and feel good with each other and enjoy
Yeah.
each
Paint, create,
other.
get your minds together,
Right,
create what you want to, respect each other's individuality, at the same time create something together and build on each other's visions.
right,
With visions, we manifest our dreams. And we
right,
all need somebody to be our partner in order to do that. We need to be able to talk to them. We need to be able to go and say, you know what, I screwed up. And have that partner. We all screw up. We all
right,
screw up. I'm not always going to agree with that other person, but I'm going to take it into consideration. But if I fall, I want that person to be there for me, not saying, I told you so, blah, 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 blah. No,
right,
no, 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 no. But we're here to build each other up
right.
for those visions,
And,
and then
and I
build
think
together.
I think where you're at and what you're saying is that you probably experienced a situation where you were chastised, for making a mistake. I mean, I think that I was guilty of doing the chastising. I didn't feel comfortable in the relationship, so I found reasons not to be happy.
Absolutely.
I wasn't man enough to leave. I had to find excuses and arguments to make exacerbate the situation and make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point where I actually left. I never
Right.
stuck around in a situation where um, you know uh, the law had to get involved or um, I had to leave a situation. I always had my own and made sure that if the situation doesn't work out, that it was amicable and it was, a friendly or cordial breakup. Like I would say all of my exes, I can call every one of my exes right now, and have a conversation with them,
you
Some
know,
of them, they may be, a little jealous of my current
salty,
situation for whatever
salty,
reason. Yeah,
a little
salty.
bit salty.
They may be
Yeah,
a little salty because we're not
yeah,
together or whatever the case, but at the end of the day, I can still call them out,
yeah,
and
yeah.
kick it about some bullshit, or even some deep shit, but at the
And
end of
you
the
know what?
day,
That's funny. I'm the same way, except for one.
yeah, there's always one.
Yeah,
There's always
very,
that one.
very, 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 very good friends. They're incredible men. We were. It was truly a blessing in my journey to be with the three that I have been with. That was very serious. And my last one, of course, no, I dug my ditch for myself. But the three that I was, they're very important to me. They're a part of my life, and I respect them. And you were good friends. I talk to them all the time, and they're incredible men. I think men are very fascinating. I find them very intriguing. And my dog is going crazy.
Right,
I
right.
find men very intriguing.
And my dog is going crazy.
Oh my gosh, we were gonna have a dog. Dogs, hush, hush.
You hear the doggies?
That's enough. Hush. No more. No more. So I mean, I think that we have to come to, as men and women, just that commonality of respect for each other, and that goes a long way. So um I have a lot of respect for men. I think they're very intriguing. I think they're absolutely beautiful people. I just want more in life. I want a mind, and so I've kind of held out for 2 years. Not to say that there hasn't been like conversations that I've probably gotten into, that
Right.
led to something else. But I've never, no, I've stayed true to who I was. I never hopped into bed or did anything. I'm not.
Right. Right.
So
Okay.
I want something real, just
Right.
real and honest and raw. And I'm not out here to hurt anybody or do anything wrong. And I think women have that problem, and we just need to let it go. Shit, who are you trying to impress? I Hey, this is who I am. That's it. I don't need to impress you. If you don't like me, good. Keep it pushing, because
Right.
sooner or later it will come.
Yeah. And you're a human being, so it's just the law of nature.
Yes.
Male, female, opposites attract. So
Well, not opposites attract too, but some of the same kind of attract too. I find women absolutely beautiful. I have been in
so do I.
relationships with women and a man, and so I found that absolutely incredible. It was an incredible journey. Um, would I? But I love men, so I mean, there's no choice there. Would I choose to bring a woman in? Absolutely, absolutely. I
Okay.
I I bel- I just think if you have boundaries and you set boundaries in your relationship and you understand each other, you love each other, I don't see anything wrong with it. I really don't. I find it very, I think if it turns both of you on, then go for it. I mean, I'm good. I like people.
Right.
I
And
like
in,
men and women. Okay, my bad.
in some countries, it's a cultural thing.
Yes.
Where a man is allowed to have multiple women, but you're actually talking about the act of woman on woman, which I think is maybe 85% of the population of men's fantasy to see two women together, or at least to have two women at the same time. That's, I
Well,
think,
and I think in that you set boundaries. I mean, you set boundaries. I mean, if you're in a relationship with a man, that's your man. That's what and that, hands down, you set those boundaries. You set those boundaries with that your man before you even get into it. And women are absolutely incredible. I mean, um, I think if that's what you choose to do, I don't have any issues with it. I think, again, there's boundaries. That, I
right.
mean, just think about it. Um, how would it be? I think there's this double standard. So if a woman were to come to her man and say, by the way, you know what would really turn me on is bringing another man into it, do you not think that man would, one, flip his lid, or two, have some boundaries? Okay, so why is it so easily done when it's woman to woman and you can do whatever you want to that other woman as a man? So that's why I'm saying, if it was the other way around and I came to, I said, hey, by the way, you know what? I want another guy up in here. How would that go down?
Uh, Honestly, I've never been in a
Right?
position like that, and don't want to be in a position like. The only situation
Right.
that I can say comes close to that is me
Right.
and one of my boys. We were with the same chick at the same, same time.
Right. Right.
So that wasn't my girl, wasn't his girl. So
Right.
other than that, in a
See,
relationship,
that's different. Yeah, in a relationship, but see what I, yeah, so it's totally different. Look at what I'm posing to you, that question, you know? So if so what I'm not, I'm all for it. If you're in a relationship and I came to you and said, "Hey, by the way, you know what? I met this really nice man, this really hot chick in the elevator. I want to bring her home. Let's set some boundaries." I think you have to come to an agreement in any kind of relationship to say, this is the boundaries, this is what you can and can't do. Let's enjoy this night and get rid of her in the morning, and let's do this and have the relationship that we have. And
right,
you go from there. I don't have any disagreements. I'm just saying that I think there's that double standard with a lot of relationships, that if a woman were to come to a man and say the same thing, it would be totally different. That's all,
right.
for
Okay,
sure. So
sounds good. Um,
you're like, sounds all right. Yeah, right on.
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a man. So, no matter what we say, I don't think that women will be 100. Not all women, but the majority of women will not be 100% honest and say that they um, feel the way you feel about relationships and sexuality, et cetera, et cetera. But the majority of men can be honest enough to say that they're willing to explore sexual situations like that.
Well, you got to remember, women too I think we're put that, again, we're put in a, if we feel a certain way, or we have a certain pat, or we want to do a certain thing, oh, we're considered a hoe. As for men, you're okay doing whatever you want to do, and it's cool. So that's where I'm coming from. I don't think that if you go you're in a relationship with a man, and you come and you say, hey, baby, I met this girl, and she's really hot, I want to bring her home. I think there should be an openness in our sexual lives. We should be able to fulfill those things that we want. I'm not saying keep her around. Shit, get rid of her. Hey,
Yeah,
do
but
what you
some
gotta
people,
do.
some people are into exclusive relationships
Yes,
and
yes, yes,
don't
yes.
like to venture off into sharing, which
Absolutely.
I can understand. But
Absolutely.
but but because that arrangement wasn't made in the beginning of the relationship, it creates an environment where a man will go out and he'll do exactly what you guys said that you wouldn't do in the beginning of the relationship. So it's basically like setting yourself up for failure.
Right, right, right. And I get that part, because what I'm trying to, I guess what I think it could go both ways. I wouldn't want it to be that in that relationship it continued for the and for that person in my life to say, oh, by the way, I need this every day. No, that's different. In experimentally,
Uh-huh.
of course, I will. I will probably, let me think. I got to really think this one out. I would probably, oh, maybe leave a little few things out. I would probably try just about. I'm going to be called out. Probably just about everything. I mean, I'm very open, and I think it's been very taboo for women to speak about sex, because we're considered then at that time, if we talk about sex, um, we're considered hoes, and I don't think it should be that way. We're not. I listen. You already know my age. I've been with four
Fool
men
said,
in
fool,
my whole life,
fool
and
said,
that,
if it's poison, you have to leave.
huh?
Yes, exactly. Fool Quan said, if it's poison, you have to leave. And yeah, absolutely. If it's poison, if it's a poisonous relationship, you have to leave.
Absolutely.
However, I do believe that setting boundaries in the beginning of a relationship sets the it sets the standard of the relationship.
Absolutely.
If you
Absolutely.
free, if you freestyle a relationship, why is it so difficult for women to get out of non-healthy relationships? That's
Absolutely.
for Quan. Why is it? Why is it? Um, well, I'm not a woman. You know, maybe you can ask Jill. Maybe Jill can.
What's the question, hun? I'm sorry.
Can you see it on the screen or no?
I can't see it on the screen, so you're gonna have to ask me. I see nothing.
Uh, he's actually saying he questions why is it so difficult for women to get out of non-healthy relationships.
Because I truly believe from my personal um I think there's a lot of women out there that we love it, and I'm not saying men don't love hard or have that same emotion. I think there's some of us that work in the way of thinking that if we love this person enough, we're going to help them and they're going to love us back, and those few little memories that of good we hold on to, and we keep holding on and we keep holding on, and then we see a little bit, a little hint of that person, and then all of a sudden that person grabs it right back, grabs it and takes it back from you. They snatch it up. And when you're in and if anybody reads up on a narcissist relationship, it's probably one of the hardest things, because there's absolutely no closure. They don't give a shit. Look up narcissist. If anybody out there is in it, male or female, it happens to males just as bad as it happens to females. Talk to me about it, because I'll tell you what, I lived 15 years with a narcissist that mentally abused me. And if I made more money than him, he made sure that I felt like shit about myself as a woman. So, why women hang on and why I did, honestly, at the point that I got to, by the time I was in it, there was so much, um, and you're a military man, there was so much. Brainwashing type of brainwash. They make sure that they break you down to the point that you can't fight. And I'll tell you what, the whole time that I was in that relationship, it's okay. The whole time I was in the relationship, the only thing that I had, and I'm not trying to get real religious or anything, but the only time that what I hung on to is my prayer and my meditation to God and who I loved, and who I loved was and I'll tell you what, God removed them from my life. He removed them from my life, whether it was devastating or not. He removed them from my life, and now I have a purpose. And
Right,
I'm going to be a better woman for a man, and I'm going to be a better woman for whoever needs me.
right. There you
So
go.
men and women go through these narcissistic relationships, and it's devastating. It's ten. I don't even know how to explain it. I that There was no closure, absolutely nothing. I was drained of everything. I lost everything. I savings accounts, everything that I. And you know what I did? Because I didn't want to deal with that person anymore, I walked away, and here you go, buddy. You can have everything.
Right,
Everything was everything. I did not care. Material items didn't matter anymore to me.
right.
What mattered was who I was as a woman. So, um, it is quite hard. People don't walk away so easy. Some of us don't see it until the very end, until you almost lose your life. So,
Yeah, I've
but I'm good.
never been in a situation like that because I've just never been in a situation like that. But that's deep.
And but men go through it. Men go through it all the time, and
Absolutely.
let's not forget that, because there's men out there that get treated like shit as well. And I,
Right.
I and I kind of get irritated with that whole situation, because it is so heard. Because again, like what, coming back to what you were saying, men are expected to be strong and oh this and that. There is a lot of men out there that get treated like shit. So in defense for men, I'm going to let you know that that's bullshit, because it's very taboo. A man doesn't barely ever come out and ever say, you know what, this is, that's bullshit, because there is just as many men out there going through this bullshit as there is women, hands down. And
Abuse.
I can get stats, I can get numbers. I just didn't look at it. I didn't know we were going to hit on this subject, but I'll get you numbers. I'll get you facts. And it's
Abuse is
so,
abuse.
yeah, pull it up.
And
there is men abused just as bad as women, and it is so one-sided. And I'm not shortchanging women, nothing, don't get me wrong, but it is very one-sided. Men can't come out and say, this is the abuse that I'm facing with this woman. She's
right.
beating on me, she's doing it because you are a man, and you are judged as a, oh yeah, well, how could you let that bitch beat on you? Wait a minute, wait a minute, it's still mind control, it's mind control. So in defense of men, they have, no woman has a right to treat a man like shit either. That's
Right.
bullshit, bullshit, hands down bullshit. I'll fight for them too, hands down. And they're never, a lot of men will never admit to it. Oh man, no, I wouldn't let my girl. No, because you're a man, and it's so sad because we just don't see it, and it always comes down to the man that, oh yeah, it's got to be the guy that's doing the abuse. No, there's a lot of nasty women out there, and I'll tell you
Well,
what.
I want to interject real quick because when you speak about abuse, it's not just physical. You
No,
have
no.
right, you have different levels of abuse, spiritual abuse, mental abuse,
Yep,
and it runs deep because you can, like I said before, be sleeping with the enemy.
yep,
You go to bed angry, you wake up angrier,
yep.
even after having sex, you know. So basically, it's just two flesh, you know, two people sharing common space, don't really like each other, never
Yep.
resolve issues, and cohabitate together. And that's where the compromise between men and women needs to be reevaluated.
Absolutely.
When we jump into relationships, it's best to go through the whole courtship process, you know, where you actually get to know this person. Go out to dinner, you know, you get to know this person, their likes, and that's what the courtship process is really about. Just
Absolutely.
getting to know a person before you take it to a next level.
Yeah.
But nowadays,
Have
during
it
this,
backwards. We have it backwards, you know.
yeah,
We go to bed. We hop into bed with them. Fuck them. Oh
absolutely,
yeah, that was cool. Well, maybe I like that person, but if I can pick up the phone
yeah,
and screw that person, that man, or that woman anytime,
right,
then why
right.
would I have a relationship with them? Fuck it. Who would?
And the convenience, like we live in a society, whereas in everything is microwavable.
Yes,
Down
yes.
to
Down to the
relationships,
restaurant. Yes,
down to relationships,
yes.
and I'm guilty of the same stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
I like to be satisfied when I'm ready to be satisfied, and
Oh,
no
that's not
questions
good.
asked. I don't want the commitment. And sometimes, you know, that's what it's, you know, that's what some people need to get by. They just need that, you know, that they don't need a complete relationship. But that's when you have to be honest with people.
Well,
You have
guess what?
to-
I need a complete relationship. I want a complete relationship. I do not. I am not a woman, and I think
You
there's
are
a lot
not a
of
woman.
men and a lot of women. There,
You are
I'm
not a
not a
woman.
woman that can. I'm very affectionate, and I'm very loving, and I love to touch, and I love that feeling of a man. So for me, I am not set up. I'm not even ticking right without that feel of a man. So for me, 2 years is 2 years too long.
Right. Hey, fellas,
And in fact, let me break it
fellas,
down. It's probably been more like,
fellas, step your game up. You got a beautiful woman here, Jill. We've got cobwebs going on all over the place.
hell yeah, yes.
Mrs. Jones needs somebody to knock some cobwebs off. Pow. You know. But I really, really enjoyed your conversation tonight, Jill.
Yeah.
And you know, it was just the two of us, which was cool.
Yes.
We talked about some real stuff, and we kept it to an hour. How about that?
Yes.
We kept it
Yes.
to
We're
an hour.
good.
You know what I mean? So
Yes. Yes.
what I'm gonna do is we're gonna let the people go,
Yep.
and you and I we're gonna chop it up a little bit more,
Yep.
and just I thank the people for joining us for this hour episode of East to West Real Conversation, Real Topics with Mac and Jill. Well,
Yes. Thank you guys. Anytime. All my love, all my great energy. Peace.
peace. We're out.